Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, and here we are back in Watch Dogs Legion again in London. We're in the very heart of East London, not far from the famous Brick Lane in Aldgate, and we're standing outside somebody's front door. And the reason we're standing outside somebody's front door, and I hope they don't mind, is because it keeps us off the street, which is always a good thing, and it means that people won't be walking into me while I'm trying to make this video. So today we're back to the normal topic of these videos, which is wokeism in gaming, because I think all gaming news is virtually about that nowadays. And it's something that I noticed the last couple of days being reported, and I wanted to make a point about it because it's just weird. So it's about Sweet Baby Inc., but it's not really about them, because we know what they are. No one in gaming, especially nobody who plays games, doesn't really know who that is. If you're anywhere connected with gaming, or you watch any amount of YouTube, or you know what Sweet Baby Inc., you know what they do. So it's not really about them, because we know what their mission is. Their mission is woke, and it's to destroy games, basically, not necessarily in that order. But it's about the people connected with them, and this involved a company or publisher called Devolver Digital. Now, I can't remember which games I've bought that they actually published, but there's been quite a few, and I would have looked at them in a kind of positive way. So if someone had said to me Devolver Digital, I would have thought of them in a positive manner. I would have remembered games, not that I remember the actual games, but I would remember that I bought games from them before, that they published, and thought, yep, these were good games. So it's weird that a publisher that's got a relatively good reputation, at least as far as I'm concerned, I've certainly not heard anything bad about them, would then publish something linked to Sweet Baby. The game in question is actually called The Crush House, which is a really weird thing. It's got all the weirdest parts of modern audience and diversity. It's some kind of reality TV sort of dating simulator by the look of it. I can't work out what it's meant to be. I don't think they know what it's meant to be. And it's cartoony to the point that it's literally a cartoon almost, the way the characters are. And if you take the character, the way they're designed, not obviously the characters because they're fantasy, but if you take the way the characters look in something like Dragon Age of Valgard, with that kind of not quite normal Disney-y, Shrek-y kind of look to them, and made it into a cartoon, that's kind of how this looks. In fact, if someone showed me this, I would think it was a video made for school kids about woke society. That's how it looks if you just look at it. I don't know what the dialogue is, I don't care. But that's how it looks. It looks like a game. If you saw that, it doesn't look like a game. It looks like something that you would show to school kids as how woke society is, and how it works in the real world, or the unreal world actually. So it's a really weird thing in the first place. It doesn't look like anything anyone would want. And the question is, regardless of whether Devolver knew that Sweet Baby were connected with this, maybe they didn't, why would they want to link themselves to a rubbish game like this? Because they know better. This isn't a game that you can believe anyone would want. I mean, if you think about the premise for Dragon Age of Valgard with the history of the franchise, you can understand somebody wanting to publish it. You can think they might have thought it was a good game, they know the history of the franchise, they might have thought this is a good idea. But this game is just not a game, it's not a good idea. The minute you see it, you could tell that nobody's going to want it, and regardless of if you knew Sweet Baby was connected with it, you wouldn't want to publish it. And if you linked yourself to it, you would unlink yourself and not publish it and cut your losses, because you know that, or they would know that anything connected with Sweet Baby or this kind of wokeism is not going to go down well. It's going to damage their credibility in the future. So it's just weird. It's really strange that publishers who should know better would publish games like that. And it's part of the big problem in gaming, which isn't Sweet Baby, because there's always going to be toxic, awful companies and people who want to push their own agendas, whatever it might be. The problem is, so many publishers and developers, from the top to the bottom, have just lost the plot, basically. They've completely got so blindsided by whatever woke is and thinking what they think is a good game or what they've been told is a good game. They just haven't got the instinct or the realisation to think it's not. I think it's a bit like there's a famous nursery rhyme kind of story called The Emperor's New Clothes, and the Emperor is obviously the Emperor. He gets a suit which is actually invisible and he's told it's fantastic, but actually he's naked because he's no real suit, and all his subjects are too scared to say anything to him because they don't want to be executed or be put in prison. And it takes a small child to point at the Emperor and say the Emperor's naked, and then everyone laughs and realises. And it's a bit like that, I think that there's so many people connected with all these publishers and developers that must really go home and think, what? Because even the most woke publishers and developers, they have people in those companies that aren't, but they are just too scared to say anything because they know what's going to happen. And it's got to the point now where people either don't want to say anything because they're scared, or they've just been so mind numbed by what's going on, they just don't realise anymore, and they just go, yeah, that looks great, because they just don't understand or don't care anymore. But like I said, it's really, really weird that a game like that can surface regardless of any Sweet Baby connection, and just be made now, because you think, who is that aimed for? Like I said, if it was aimed for teaching school kids about woke society, that's about what it looks like. And I don't think any gamer or any person over the age of 12 or 13 is going to look at that and think, that looks like amazing, I want to buy it. So it's sad. It's sad that that's still going on in 2025, and it's not a good sign, because once again, a new publisher that wasn't linked up to this kind of rubbish in the past has got caught up in it, which is a shame. But it is what it is. Anyway, thanks for watching Guessagaingaming. More woke news coming soon. Till next time, take care for now.